The Hawaiian Comedian presents. I've been doing comedy for over 23 years. And I've been on the road. I've been in different cities. I've been different things like that.
We're here to talk about everything, man. The topics you talk about with your friends, your family, questions you got for us. Twitty in the city.
Aloha.
We have got to just always have these cameras and this microphone on, man. Oh my gosh.
I agree. It should never be turned off.
You didn't miss it because I'm gonna have him say it again, but I gotta do protocol. Gosh, man. I wish sometimes we just had these things. Oh my gosh. Hello, I'm Twitty. That's THC. The Hawaiian Comedian. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. We appreciate you guys, the family, the community. I gotta figure out what we're gonna start calling the Twitty Club or the Twitty family, the city. It's gotta be city something. The people of the city. I kind of like that. That could be a shirt.
You know what? We should ask them.
Yeah.
Get some suggestions from them.
What would you, because I want to get you guys shirts, you know, you could be like the people of the city.
Yeah.
I like that. Get in the comments, get in the DMs. If you had to pick a name for yourself for Twitty in the city, because I don't want to do this whole like the Twitty and the Twittettes. Like I don't want none of that.
Why not? That's not. Now that sounds like
I feel like it's Twitty in the city, so I want it to be like the people of the city. Because then somebody like, well, what city are you talking about? And they could be like, you don't know. Then if you don't know, then you're not a part of Twitty in the city. Either way, I'm getting sidetracked. Get in the DMs. If you have a name of what a fan club should be for this podcast, let us know. Because we're trying to get some shirts out there to people. I forgot his name already.
Wild Beard. I'll never forget. If you guys see his channel, please check him out. Very good dude. Give him a follow. Good dude.
Yeah. So
we definitely got to get one to Wild Beard. Beard, I got to get you a shirt.
He needs a custom.
So yeah, help us out. Help us out. What we should call it.
The back. Yeah. Okay. So we're getting set up. You know, Sean, our producer, shout out to him. Shout out to Johnny that does all the cutting and the clips.
Johnny and John.
Sean's getting this set up, checking microphones. And before, which is why we need to start just having like a backup camera or something. THC, I go to him and I say, is there anything you want to talk about? Because I usually come up with all the topics. And THC, do you want to tell the people the exact phrase you said to me? I asked him, I said, anything you got on your chest you want to say or anything you want to talk about? And THC said, you can do it.
I looked him dead in his face and I said, you know what? I got a question I've been asking to die you. And he looked at me and said, what? And I said, I have a question I've been dying to ask you.
He said, asking to die you.
And if you just heard it a minute ago, I just did it like a second ago. I said Shawnee and John.
Yeah.
And I meant Sean and Johnny.
The fact the fact you said it so smoothly too. There was no, you did good. When you said it the first time, my God.
It was like, hey, Twitty, I got something I've been asking to die you.
Yeah. Just rolled off the tongue. Like you say it all the time.
I've been asking to die you.
And I had to sit back and I was like, you want to try that again? Or maybe I just am not up on my lingo because I never heard that.
And we had that episode already.
Yeah.
We had that. So yeah, this was gonna be all new. Yeah, I've been asking to die you these questions, man.
I don't even know how you describe. What would the definition of that be?
Just
asking to die you.
And you know what's funny? Is that when I said it though, and like you said, I said it so smooth that you was like, you knew exactly what I meant. You was like, okay, well, why don't you ask that question? And I was like, I didn't say that. I've been asking to die you this question, but okay, there it is. I don't know
what that went. So we got to figure out something because I wish we could have caught that just in the natural.
We should just get it, like, because when we first come in and we're sitting down in the studio, when we first come in, we just start talking, we start going over things in.
And that's our best work sometimes.
Sometimes it is.
It ain't even scripted. Oh,
because the way you looked at me when I said it to you, the way you looked
I think I was in the middle of texting my wife.
He was like, asking to die you.
Like, is that a song?
It was like, got me caught in the middle of that. I've done that too. I was telling you too. I was like, I've done that at a toll booth where I wanted to say, have a nice day, but I was thinking, take it easy. So when I rolled up and I looked at the lady, I gave her the money and I said, take a nice day. Take a nice day. Like, I think it would have been easier if I would have just said, have it easy, right? That would have been better. Take a nice day.
That's not like she can just turn around and be like, you know what? I'm gonna take a Tuesday.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's kind of what I was like. I hope that's how she took it. That's not how I meant it. I know I'm not the only person out there who's actually thought of something.
No.
And said something and it just came out. Like you thought you were starting to say it, but you were thinking of something else.
It was just too smooth, man. Just.
You know what, Twitty?
I've
got a question I've been asking to die you. Wow. I got to die in this situation?
I want to know how you've been preparing for this. You just been asking everybody how am I going to die?
No, but honestly...
you got to tell me what.
A lot of people have been, they know, like for me, you know me, I like to delve into different unknowns of the universe, different unknowns of the world, different unknowns of things like that. So a lot of people know kind of where I stand and what I believe in different things. Like I do believe in aliens. I do believe in Bigfoot. I do believe in different cryptids that are walking on the earth. I do believe there are spirits. I do believe there are things here that are unexplained. Mm-hmm. I also do believe that humans don't know as much as we think we do. Every time we figure something out and you tell us something, it always ends up being something else later on. You know, it's kind of like the eggs are bad for you, but now eggs are good for you. Yeah. So a lot of people have been asking me, they've been like, hey, I know where you stand, Sean. I know where you stand on some of these cryptids and some of these things, mermaids and stuff like that. Then they said, how does the host of the show, how does Twitty feel about it with you? Because they go, I know he knows that this is what you believe. And I'm like, I'm very vocal about mine.
Yeah, you are.
But
100%.
So I have been asking to die you. That's what the name of this episode should be. Asking to die you.
Sean, you heard that. I swear, if this episode blows up because of that freaking title,
asking to die,
I'm going to be so pissed.
I bet you Wildbeard will be the first one to be like, that's what needs to be on the shirt. I've been asking to die you this question.
I swear, if this is our best episode because of that freaking title, I ain't gonna be mad, but I'm gonna be so confused. Because it's stuff like that blows up. Asking to die you.
Asking to die you. So like now that we have this platform where it's just you and I, we're not in the office. We don't have any distractions. We don't have anybody coming in. There's not another input in here. Like sometimes when you and I will get into a question, we'll have somebody walk up where we're talking and then the input's going. And I was trying to get it to focus on what you was asking and it just, sometimes it gets shifted away.
Oh yeah.
And it gets moved to a different, I'm like, I kind of want to go back to what you thought. So now I got you here. We got the cameras on. We got the microphone going, hey, nobody walking through here because Sean won't let them.
That's true.
So
I'm on record.
I want to know. Like I'm gonna give you a little list. I'm gonna start naming off some things.
Okay.
And then when you tell me what you if you do or don't believe, I kind of want to know why you lean that way.
Okay.
So.
This is literally like middle school.
I'm starting with the big one because you know me. Starting with the big man himself, Mr. Sasquatch, a.k.a. Bigfoot, a.k.a. Skunk Ape, a.k.a. Abominable Snowman, a.k.a. the Yeti.
Right.
Yes or no? Do you believe?
I'm going to be so backwards on everything. This is going to trip you out. I'm a no.
Okay.
Because I feel like I personally don't know or have not seen physical evidence of a sighting. So there's nobody in my circle. So it's less about the facts and what's on the internet and what people say.
How much have you researched it? Or how much have you just said, in other words, are you coming to this conclusion because of what was handed to you or because what you have actually searched out?
50-50, and also with 50-50, the data, so go back. So it's 50-50, and I probably have say on a scale of 0 to 100, I have dove into it 40%.
Okay.
But I am not gonna die on that hill. I'm not stating, because I haven't done the other 60, I'm 100% a no. It is my current state with the data I know, the people I know, the data,
You're a 50,
little
a 50
data.
no, but a 50 yes.
Yes.
Okay. 50, I'll take
if I'm
that.
picking one side, it's a no, and it's because of what I just have not physically seen, either myself or somebody in my circle.
Now, let me ask you this question. Since if it was something that you have seen, and I'm going to ask you about all of these things. So when I get to the next one, it's going to kind of go in that same line again.
All right.
Okay, so.
Yes or no, my reasoning, and then this question you're about to ask.
Yes.
Okay.
If you had seen one, then you would say, now I'm 100%, right? Mm-hmm. How could you prove it?
So with me, I'm not proving it. To me, I don't need to prove to somebody else.
Correct.
It would be like if it would have happened, like, do you believe in them? Yes. And I would say the exact same thing I said with the data from the data I've researched, but also I have seen with my own 2 eyes.
Right.
And you would probably be like, how can you prove that to us? And I would sit here and be like, I can't. I know what I saw, and that's where I have to go.
That's a perfect answer, and I'm going to borrow that from you because, like, I could tell you right now, I believe, and I have seen.
Right, and so I can't.
But I can't show you.
Argue with
but
you
I
that
can't
you
show you,
or that you have.
But I can't show you. I think it's harder knowing that I've seen, and I can't say nothing.
Oh, 100%.
It's harder knowing that because everybody else is going to look at you like you're stupid. No, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, he's just saying that. Oh, that's just bad. No, it's not.
It's the maximum effort of like keeping a secret from a friend you've had since 2 years old.
Right.
Like times extra infinity.
I mean, if you think about it, this whole planet is 79% water. It's only like 21% land. And only 10% of that land is occupied. So there's still like 19-20% land out there that has that's a lot of land.
For a little percentage, just a lot of land.
To try to say what is and what isn't here indefinitely is something that I don't think any human being on this planet can call.
Every answer I give you,
okay,
I'm not dying on the hill.
That's fine. No, and that's not because I'm asking you. This is your own preference.
Yeah, 100%.
Not trying to convince you of nothing.
No.
I just want to see where you stand.
Yeah.
Some folks have asked me, and they was like, "Hey, we want to see where Twitty stands on this." Okay, so Bigfoot 50-50.
Yep.
Okay, mermaids.
I'm probably gonna go.
I swear to God, mermaids better not get higher than Bigfoot. You give me a 60-40 on a mermaid, I'm gonna be this podcast gonna go in a whole different direction. And it won't be Disney. So, okay, yeah, mermaids.
Mermaids.
How is this one tougher than Bigfoot? That's
So mermaids for me is like 60-40 because
wow.
60 yes.
Okay. No, I'm interested.
So here we go. So yes, exact same answer that I gave you for Bigfoot.
Okay.
Nothing I have physically seen, but the data that I have researched, which is 60% more, not 60% more data. It's 60% data, which is 20% more than I did on Bigfoot. And the fact, land versus water to me, I truly believe there's probably a whole nother planet of water in the water. We can't touch a certain portion of the water.
Yeah, you're right.
So to me, it's like you
can't say what's in there. Anything is possible because we can't see what's possible.
Like Mount Everest, there's enough data somebody can say they flew a helicopter to the top.
Right.
I don't know any data that says there's a submarine or whatever that has literally touched the bottom of the ocean.
Gotcha.
So that's where I'm at, where nobody can just be like, all right, Sean, I'll see you on Tuesday. Where you going? I'm about to start just walking in the ocean. I'm just going to walk. I packed a bag. I packed some oxygen.
Okay.
I got a light.
All right.
I'll see you in a week.
And
I'll text you where I'm at.
So Bigfoot, you 50-50. Mermaid, you're 60-40.
Yes.
So 60, it's a
60
yes.
60 with the yes.
60 with a yes. Bigfoot only got 50. Okay.
It's only 10%.
I'm going to tell you, I'm 100% Bigfoot. I'm about 80% mermaid.
Okay.
I believe in it. I believe, yeah, okay. But my Bigfoot's a little bit higher. Only because I seen it.
Don't be.
Because that's just me though.
Right.
Only because I seen them. When I seen them, I've seen a family, and I've actually seen a family of them here in Idaho. Anyway, that's a whole different story. But so you're 50-50 Bigfoot. Yep. You're 60-40. 60-40 on mermaid.
10% than Bigfoot and 20% more research.
Ghosts.
Gosh, man. I'm gonna go 60-40 on that as well.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you'd be a little higher on that one.
I'm going 60. I'm going 60-40 because going back to the questions. 60-40.
Okay.
My reasoning being Research is about the same, 60%. I've done research on.
Have you had any paranormal experience?
I have had a paranormal experience.
Then why wouldn't that put you at 100?
Because I haven't had another one. You know, it was one of
But you had one, so that
one.
So if that one was authentic, then that means I was just saying, if you had one, that I think it would be higher than 60%.
Yeah. See, so here's the short version of this, because I feel like you got a long list coming at me. The paranormal that happened, it was with another group, and we all experienced the same thing
together.
Yeah, together.
Okay.
It wasn't a solo where like I'm in like the. I hope I'm not pre-releasing this, but when you went to the prison.
Oh yeah.
Where you had comedians in separate rooms.
Yes.
We were always together, and we all kind of felt the same thing.
Okay.
And so for me, a little bit, it's like, I know what I felt, but did I feel that because of me, because somebody else?
Did you see something as well? Not just hear. You didn't see.
I heard and I felt. I felt the like warm. You know how you can feel a warm body?
Yes.
I felt a warm body go past me, and it wasn't nobody that I came with.
But there was nobody near you either.
No.
Huh. Okay. So you're 60-40 ghost.
Yes.
60. So you're 50-50 Bigfoot. 60-40 mermaid.
Yep.
60-40 ghost.
Yes. Same amount of data.
Okay.
Have experienced the paranormal
and an experience.
activity.
Okay. Aliens. Big time. Boom. And this was the number one thing that people was trying to, a lot of people, they was like, Sean, you are huge on aliens. And I'm going to tell you something, 100%, 120% is where I sit on aliens. 120%. And I can give you an alien right now. I can let you see you can see an alien right now. All we have to do is watch the rover that's on Mars. Mm-hmm. Because that rover is now an alien artifact. It is not from Mars. So we have proved and made it plausible that a life form can leave a planet, become smart enough, leave the planet, and explore another planet.
Yeah.
We just made that to where we could say it is possible for a life form to be that smart. We just showed it. And that also made us an alien, because if there was any type of life, if they did find any kind of life on Mars, if they came across a rover, what would they say?
We would be the visitor.
Exactly. So that is an alien artifact, because it is an alien thing that's on an alien planet. It is an alien to that planet.
Yeah.
But there's other factors, I believe, 100%. 128,000%. 128,000.
Is that even a real percentage?
It's gonna be. It's gonna be after this episode. We might have. That's a new name of the episode. 128,000%.
128,000%.
128,000.
Ask them to die you 120.
There's way too many. There's way too many in the research that I've done, and the things that I've read, the things that I've seen, questions that are being unanswered that are like astronomically, like there's no other explanation but this.
I'm a yes, and I'm gonna go 70.
Whoa, there 70, we go. 30. Jumping up that 10% more.
So here's what happened. I went back and watched, and to me, it's a movie, but it's a movie that freaking stuck with me.
Which one?
So I've done 60% data as well, but freaking Men in Black. The second one, when they have to get the cat because it has Orion's belt on its collar.
That's the first one.
That's the first. It is the first.
Yep.
The second one.
The bug was trying to come get it. Yes.
But at the end, when they zoom out from planet Earth, and it's just galaxy, 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 and there's two freaking aliens playing with marbles.
And we're the marbles. Our actual galaxy, our universe is a marble.
And so to me, it's a movie. But again, it's like walking in the ocean. You can't just start hiking.
Correct.
Into the galaxy and be like, I'll keep you updated. 4,338 meters away from Earth. I am in planet blah, 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 blah. I'm this far away from the galaxy. There are clouds. There's darkness. You can't keep track of that.
If you see a Petri dish that is full of bacteria, like in a science class where they put a bunch of bacteria in a Petri dish, That petri dish itself is the universe for all that bacteria. That bacteria can't leave that petri dish. It can't go outside of that petri dish. It's got to stay in there. Just like we can't just leave the earth. We can't just walk out there. We got to have some type of suit. But even if we got out in space, space is so infinite. We can't even get to the edge of that.
Yeah. So that's where that movie to me, just the fact of how far and fast they zoomed out, where it's like that's I can't put no tape measure on that.
Yep.
There's probably not even a big enough tape measure, even if you strapped it to a rocket.
It's so funny that you say the Men in Black, because Men in Black has one of my favorite sayings when it comes to stuff like believing in different things, like we're talking about now.
Yeah.
You know, he when they're sitting on the park bench and Will Smith is thinking about whether or not he wants to be a part of this or he wants to be in it.
Yeah, right outside of the
and Tommy Lee Jones comes, sits down, and he's sitting there with them. And he tells him, he says, you know, so many years ago, we knew that we were the center of the universe. And so many years ago, we knew that the earth was flat. He goes, and yesterday you thought that we were the only ones here. He goes, just imagine what you will know tomorrow. And that one right there, that one gets me every time. When I watch that movie, I see Tommy Lee Jones say that. I'm like, man, that's facts. Like 100% facts. Yeah. Every time we think we figure something out, there's something comes in. Hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I mean, the same thing like with the pyramids right now. The pyramids is now they're finding columns that go down 600 meters down to the bottom of this, and it's like, wow. And what I told my son, because my son was like, hey, that's just something underneath the pyramid. I'm like, no, in order for it to be under the pyramid, that means it's older than the pyramid.
Yeah, it was already there.
Correct.
There ain't no way they built that pyramid and then went inside and then
built down. No, through the bedrock, and you're talking 600 meters. Do you know how big that's 2 Eiffel Towers?
That's long.
You can put an Eiffel Tower on top of another Eiffel Tower. It's that deep.
That's long, man.
But that's you know, maybe that has something to do with it. So let's see, 50-50 on Bigfoot.
Mm-hmm. 60.
60-40 on mermaids.
60.
60-40 on what was it?
Aliens.
No. Ghosts.
Sorry.
And then you went 70-30.
70-30
for aliens. Now, the main question out of all this is with this type of data, which I'm looking at it, and it looks like if something comes to you, if I'm looking at the data correctly, just your data, and you're saying you do 60% research. I was paying attention to the numbers you were showing on your research. So I would say that when a different type of theory or something comes your way, you're going to put in at least 50% of research to see, I don't know, maybe, even if you overhear somebody say something.
Yeah.
So how big are you on the number one question that everybody wants to know? How big are you on conspiracy theories?
Those to me are case by case.
Well, what makes something that everybody calls a conspiracy theory? What makes that fall out of that category for you? If you go case by case, you might say this case is a conspiracy theory. This case isn't. What makes the difference?
Yeah, for me and my answer, it goes back to data and how much I've already researched on it, or how much research do I start digging, and I start, again, personal opinion, feeling like this data's too broad. Because to me, I feel like when something hits, there is a consistent article. Several articles will have the same thing. Ever since,
like, okay, take the recent releasing of all the documents and everything on when Donald Trump was put in as president.
Yeah,
he released all the information on John F. Kennedy. Anything on John F. Kennedy now you can get.
Yep.
Now I know as being a kid from the 80s and stuff, like we were all told that this is what happened.
Yep.
This is what happened. Now that these new evidences are coming out and everything's coming out, it's actually contradicting what we were told. So there's a lot of things in there that we were told.
A lot of it makes.
So when does that is that another way when you get, if you're able to get more data to where there's this conspiracy theory for you becomes more of, no, this is probably what it really is.
100%.
Is there a case? Give me an example. Give me an example of a case where you go
that I'm like,
well, no, okay, a case that you say one is just this complete conspiracy theory. Everybody's throwing it out there. Everybody's doing this. I don't think I'm going to believe it, but I'm aware of it. And then give me one that you go, this one is probably true.
The most recent, I can't think of one where I was like, no, but the most recent one is my trip to Belize. So I was a big, before I went on this, I'd probably say I was like 80-20 when it came to, you were talking about the pyramids and humans building.
Yep.
I was like 80-20.
See, and this is the part I wanted you to get in. This I was digging for this.
I was 80-20 because I'm like, yeah, like sure they got to use a lever, but they made strong enough rope, and humans have supernatural strength when you are forced to do something. So I'm like, they can make that. I go to freaking Belize, and I am sitting in, and I'll send the pictures to Sean to put them up there. I forgot the name of the doggone. Wow, what are those called?
The pyramids?
Yes, but they also had another. Wow, I'm drawing a freaking blank.
It's okay. Go ahead. Just keep. But
either way,
yeah, we'll come back to it.
So I was big on like man-made structure, right? Big
monoliths,
blocks.
things like that.
Yeah, like they had to.
Okay.
We're in what's called like the gallery, where you had to be welcome before you went to see the king.
Right. Oh, of course, 100%.
First off, king and queen found a pyramid that was already halfway structured.
So this wasn't a pyramid that they built. This one was already in place when they got there.
They added. It'd be like the Alpha not the Alpha Tower. Let's just go your classic 16-story building.
Okay.
But you found it with the first 8 floors already built.
And then you built the next 8.
I'm the king. I want to see everything.
Okay.
So that's how one of them was built. But you had this entryway that was about this big. That's wrong. Probably about as big as 2 of me. That everything had to go through that to get blessed.
How are they moving these big boulders that are bigger than the entry?
That's where I lost my mind in the middle of it. Because
there's like no way that the people that have the bigger stuff are going around or
everything. The guy said to this point, just putting it in modern day.
Got you. Yeah.
Let's say you had to go through TSA, right?
Okay.
You go through TSA, you forget a tool. You just don't get to skip TSA again. You got to go back through it if you forgot a sock.
Yeah, correct.
So back then, if they forgot something,
so everything had to go. And it
food, clothing.
But we're dealing with complete like mathematics science here. Like so,
and this is where
if this rock is if this cup right here, this is the only gap right here. I can't take this book and fit it in this cup, but for some reason
you can go over though.
You can go over.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you mean go over?
So do that, but hover that over that circle.
So if this is like this,
that's
and instead of going through
you can't go through,
but you can come over the top.
You basically have to clear.
Okay, hold up.
You have to clear that TSA to be blessed to be into that structure.
Okay, no, hold up.
This is coming from a guy that is probably 30.
Do they have cranes?
They don't. And here's the other part.
So how are they going over the?
There's only one way, dog. Because also, you got this entryway. This is to get in.
Okay.
This side ain't flat. This is a hill that has a dirt road that switchbacks.
Wait. So how?
Because this entire place was on a hill, and then they built the pyramid to see every piece of land. So if anybody tried to come and attack them, the king would know, his guards would know, and they would be able to protect. But they're not like they put up to the ocean or they put up to shore and then it's just, here's your piece to enter. It's like, no, you entered, welcome. Now you got miles of switchbacking to do to get to our gate. And then you got a TSA check that, and then you can go take it to the king.
But how is the TSA going to check this if you can't even get through the metal detector? But how do you get these boulders over? Like if it doesn't fit, like you said, it can go over the top. Okay, these things are thousands of pounds.
This is where
and is that opening taller than a regular person?
Yeah, it's probably
like the top of what you have to walk in between is taller than yourself. Taller than an average person.
2.5 of me in width, and probably because I'm 5'11", almost 6 foot. I'd say 2.5 of me tall.
So like 12 feet.
Yeah, like 12 by 12 almost.
How do you get a 2,000, 10,000, 6,000, whatever thousand. The word thousand is on the end of this boulder.
GIANT. And I was a harsh no until I physically stood there. Because here's the other part, dog. This structure, this pyramid, looks pristine.
So it wasn't like they were just grabbing random rocks.
No. And also it has natural like dings on it because it's thousands of years old.
Right.
But I'm a math guy. Even if you are using a lever to slide a rock to the next layer, that's rock on rock, dog. That is going to rub.
Yeah.
Like
100%. It's going to rub. It's going to crack. It's going to split.
How the heck can the heck each side of that pyramid be clean? Like each cut.
The only way.
Unless you got somebody that they whole job as somebody is sliding stuff up and down it is they're taking a shaver and shaving them edges again.
But they're doing it while it's moving.
Right.
Like it's moving into place. That's how they would have to do it.
Because they didn't have back then, I could be wrong, you were not using no doggone rug to put underneath that so it doesn't rub. Kind of how like when you're moving your furniture, you put even a sheet.
Yeah. But I mean,
you
even
ain't
if
doing that for no rock that's 50 plus bigger and taller than you.
And you have to go over because you can't go through.
Yeah. The guy said there is no going around. If you did, you were cursed and you was no longer welcome.
Did he say anything about any type of levitation things? I know I've heard that in different.
He just said that they believe that the spirits helped.
Who were the spirits?
He never said. And
were they like big giant people?
It pissed me off because we was in a time crunch.
Did you try to ask him again too? Like when he was like, "Hey, have a good night." You were like, "Wait, I got one more question."
I don't know how much money I was ready to not come back till I had like a full day just talking to him. It blew my mind, THC. I was not a believer until I physically saw that structure.
When you got there, you was 1090.
I was there to just say I've been there and like. And then when so
you was like 1090.
And the thing is, because I'm walking up it, and I'm in good shape. And I'm just processing. You got to be.
In order to build next one. Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm sitting here and they're talking like, oh, yeah, this is from the original. You can tell it's still the original. There's like natural weather, wear and tear.
So you can tell that it's been there that long.
And the guy points out, he's like, but you notice all the edges are clean. All the edges, it's like when they built it, they designed it and placed things perfectly where they belonged.
Okay.
Placed them. Didn't say pulled it. Didn't say sculpted it. Placed it perfectly where it belonged, where the king and queen wanted it.
Just move it here,
I don't know how many humans you need to pick something up, a boulder,
a lot
to place it. And also, pyramids, these steps ain't no little. I had to high knee them things. It was 40. It was 40 just to get to where it was naturally built. Then you had another 20, 30.
Right.
And I'm like, the closer you get to the top, you're getting skinnier. You're getting more tight. You're getting more finesse. Like.
So when you got there, this conspiracy theory was kind of like, it's here. I've heard things that in there. And by the time you left, you was like,
disrespect to humans. I left. I said, there's no way we could have did that. I don't care how much human strength we got. I don't care if they threatened. I didn't care if they threatened your family. You was not moving that thing.
See, and like when you talk about these pyramids and these things like that, like
it's just too perfect, dog.
And I assume like the other pyramids that are built, are these things lined up astronomically? Is that what the tour guy was telling you, the guy that was down there? Are they lined up with certain stars? Because I know most pyramids are lined up with stars.
They're lined up with stars, and they were lined up with the way the stars align, pointing at the direction of where they came from, where most enemies came from, but also, again, his word, where they felt the spirits guided them to have to look to.
That in itself is where, and I also start believing that we had to have help from extraterrestrial in order to do this. And the reason why is I know that we have a lot of people here that can do good math. I know we have a lot of humans on this planet that can do math pretty good. Can do math fantastic.
Bro, I don't care about the math. I'm talking about physical, dog.
But think about it physically and think about it like this, because this was one of my one of the things that leads me towards that, because you brought up the temple part. the top rock of that temple, that pyramid, the top one, is usually the one that lines up with that star. Mm-hmm. Now, let me ask you something. What's the base? What do you think the width, the length of the base was of that? Humongous, right? If you were to build a pyramid this Isaiah Twitty building a pyramid. I gave you the stuff to build a pyramid, right? When you built this thing, is your math so good? Is your math so good that when you walked up to the very top of that thing, and when it all came up together, that when you went, you was dead center with that star? Is your math that good?
Hell no.
Right. My math. The star's over there. How did I get here? Because just to be that big, to get that small, to be that accurate.
I've used guides for a doggone TV mount frame. Been off.
Oh, yeah.
Measured it 14 times.
Oh, yeah.
Leveled it. Even leveled it before I gave it that final zzz.
That's what I'm saying is like this structure from the base of it is humongous. You're moving boulders that are humongous, yet you are so precise in your math that no matter what big boulder they brought up there to sit there, by the time you put that last boulder on the top of it and it was completely lined up with that star, I don't know how that math back then was calculated.
I will tell you, man, I left there. It's all open to me.
Now,
because of all things, Sasquatch, mermaids. You talk to me about giants, I was like, no, that's like a 5% of hope.
It was a 5.95.
It was a 5 to 95.
Gotcha.
It wasn't a no. It was an absolutely hell no.
Okay.
Easily. I left there because we walked what they had to walk, and all I had on me was a camelback. And I'm like, you mean to tell me?
Yep.
We was back here.
How much of that water and how much of that camelback did you drink just touring? You remember, you're not working like people was working back then.
My whole camelback was gone.
Within what, an hour?
I think we were there for 40. I was out of water by 20.
Damn.
And I'm just
imagine.
You
back
know
then.
me. I'm just looking, like, as he's talking, he's like, you see this trail right here? And I'm sitting there looking. I'm like, this trail, yep, I see it. They were like, this is where everybody had to come. Everything you brought, everything you wanted to take to the king and queen, everything that helped build this structure, it had to come this way because there was no other entrance. The only other entrance was for the king and queen if they needed to escape and get to their he didn't say that word, but their getaway boat or their getaway exit.
Gotcha.
Everybody had to come this way. So I'm like, and this is a nice version of this hill.
Right.
It's got gravel.
It's all updated now. It's updated from when it was.
Gravel.
Correct.
The grass is all cut out.
Right.
I'm like, this is back then. You probably stepped in a hole, rolled your ankle.
So was that your frustration the minute you went through this to that thing? It didn't math, right?
Did not math. And I am a math on math. That's why I loved math, because you can't change 2 and 2 to be something else.
Correct.
It is 4.
Correct. It is.
And so as he's talking, I'm like, okay,
there's no way.
You can't fit it through there.
Right.
And so somebody asked, they were like, well, what about the boulders? And he said, well, you see this opening. And he was like, this opening is because this isn't an enclosed entry sanctuary where everything has to come through. You just have to clear the path.
I'm coming over. So when you go over, so if you're going over the thing, you still have to go over the opening, the entrance.
That's how things got blessed. That's how demons got taken off of it. That's how it was blessed. It got approval to be in this area so that it would work the way it was supposed to work.
You know, if you were Nephilim, if you were giants, like if they were giants back in the day, I mean, they could walk through while they're holding these boulders up.
That's what I'm saying. When he said it doesn't have to go through, you just. Like, if this is it, you don't got to go through it, but this opening, something of you got to be going through it
or to clear.
So, yeah, if I just took my crotch and crossed over it and I came over, I'm Gucci. I got blessed. They'd be like, how are you safe? My crotch went over the little opening thing.
Did you sit there? Did you just that would have blew my mind. I would have been on that whole tour standing there like, I'm not leaving this spot until you explain it.
We had a 2-hour bus ride. Everybody was asleep. I was like that kid that just looking out the window, and processing everything. processing everything.
I couldn't have left. I would have tried to follow that dude and be like, no, I would have looked at him and be like, dude, your math isn't mathing.
I looked at everything.
It's not
different,
mathing,
bro.
You say spirits. I need you to be more.
Yeah. Nope. I was.
Okay.
I want to go back.
So that conspiracy right there, that one just blew you away,
bro.
And you thought
all of those that you just listed off.
Yes.
My percentage.
So now your mind is a lot more open to a lot more things being possible.
I'm like the ocean, dog.
Don't know what's in there. Whew.
What I thought ain't what I thought. And I got nothing against nobody that wants to sit down and give me. I will listen.
Well,
there's certain things I might be like, I don't know about that, but this is what I'm gonna be. I'll be that person where I'm like, that don't make sense. Guaranteed though. As soon as I leave, I'm looking it up myself.
Oh yeah.
I used to be somebody where
I'm the same way.
I used to be somebody where it's like, that don't make sense to me, dog. I ain't even gonna look it up.
No, and I'm the same way.
Even it's just BS.
You know, even if the theory sounds where I can already be like bullshit right in the middle of it, then even if that, I will still give it some research, because I'm not just gonna call somebody out on something. I'm gonna go out and look at it, and then I'm gonna come back to them and be like, well, tell me what you think about this. You know, this was found, and this was found, and this was found.
The fact that was that guy's job was to research all of that. And
all he left with was the spirits did it.
Yeah. There's a lot of other things he said.
And that left you with your arms folded on the bus back home.
Dog, I can't explain. I felt like as he's talking, I was picturing me back then, where it's like,
there's no way.
I can't.
Right.
I'm a human. I'm all about like humans. We got some stuff in us. We can figure stuff out. We ain't figuring that out by ourselves, dog. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
we can't. We couldn't have.
It's not possible. Well, good. See, so now everybody at the house, everybody that's watching this, they got your answer now. Now we know where Twitty sits at. There was a lot of people that was asking me because they know me, so they were like, "Man, how does that work?" Because I know if Twitty said Bigfoot ain't real, I know you're gonna lose your mind. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna lose my mind.
No,
he can have his own opinion, and it's the way you said it. Like when I seen what I seen, that's for me.
Yeah,
that's not for me to come back and be like, hey, all y'all got to go see him because he's real, and I don't even want to draw attention to him.
No,
I don't. I know he's real. I know he's there. Yeah. And when you see him, I'm gonna be right next to you. I'm gonna be like, told you.
And be like, there he is.
And then we can't tell nobody else. Nobody else.
Yeah, man. Yeah, my mind is blown, dog. I was already logical with stuff.
Yeah.
This is not logical to me.
Well, when you had told me that before, when you was talking to me about your trip on there, I was like, that's when I was asking to die you this question.
You're asking to die.
I was asking to die you this question. The minute I seen it, I was like, man, because now
I've been asking to die to figure out the rest of it.
Because when you was there, like before you went there, you was like there was a lot of there was more skepticism in different things. But when you came back and you told me that, I was like, what changed,
bruh?
What changed? You were like, dude, I was there. Like math don't math. When math don't math, it just
pictures don't do it justice, dog. There's a difference between like that's a big building and then
actually that's a big building.
That bitch is big.
Yeah.
And I got 16 floors.
Yep.
To get that up there for the king and queen, and I can't drag it because everything we just made can't be touched.
It's correct. Damn.
I can't do this number.
I would. You know what? I would
do this.
I couldn't have left. I couldn't have left. I'd have been like, you're gonna lose me. I'm gonna sit right here until I figure out this math.
If I had, this is all I needed. If I had the funds, I would have stayed. I would have been like, bae,
you have back.
We gonna tell our guide to go tell the cruise ship we staying.
Till we figured this out.
I finding me a phone. I'm finding me a piece of land because it's cheap. We're just gonna stay in a hotel. You don't have a hotel. I would have found if I had the money,
we would have just been right there
easily for a week.
Easily,
I would have canceled the rest of the tours.
Get a nice yacht. We come back. We live off the coast, and we come in to do the research,
bro. You gonna know where to find me. Oh yeah, we're gonna post a picture of the whole landscape. I'm gonna be right in the center. The pyramid I'm talking about. When you look at the photo, it is the far left in the back. You're gonna know which one it was, the tallest one.
Right.
But those other ones, and you're going to see. So to the left, just giving you guys a reference. To the left is going to be the tallest pyramid, which is where the king and queen stayed. And to the right, you're going to see that just looks like 2 slabs of just stone, and it's going to have a gap. That was the entrance.
Man, and anybody that's watching this right now, I mean, down in the comment section, down in the DM anything. If you've had any of these type of experiences, if you had anything that, whether it was paranormal, whether it was any, please comment in the bottom, tell us your story, tell us about it. And other people that are in there, if you're doing it, be nice on your comments to other people that are commenting, please. Don't just be up in there breaking down everybody's story, because we all don't know. Nobody knows. I kind of look at it like, it's hard to say what kind of spider is on your fence in your backyard if you're still standing on the patio. Yeah. Like, you don't know what's on that fence, so you can't just stand there from the patio and be like, oh, yeah, I know what's over there. You don't. You have no clue.
You have no idea.
So, yeah, if you do, hey, put the comments in there. If you've seen things, if you know things, if you're like, hey, this is what happened to me, please, because we would love to read them out here. And if you do that, please, let us know where you're from. Tell us the state. Tell us the city. Put something in there so that we know where you're from, so that we can read your stuff out loud when we're coming back this. And please do not, if you haven't yet, and you watch all these episodes, you've been here, and you haven't subscribed yet,
got to.
Stop playing. It doesn't cost nothing. Stop. I mean, for real.
Stop playing.
Stop playing. You've watched it. You've come by. You've been here. It's not costing you nothing. Hit subscribe, and that's it. And don't forget that notification button. That way, when we get our stuff up and loaded and it's ready to roll, it will notify you that it is ready to play.
Stop playing.
Stop playing.
I feel like this is like dating.
You know what I'm saying?
We on 10 plus dates. I don't lost what episode. We on 10 plus dates. If you still coming back, just say we dating.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm over asking the diet question. I'm over it. I'm over it.
Just hit the subscribe.
Just hit the subscribe. Hit the like.
That's my boo. I'm Twitty. That's THC. Till next time.